So I have decided that I was going to put myself with the incredible important task of ranking every Xbox 360 exclusive, including timed. Because even though these games eventually come to other platforms, I felt like it was important to put them with this list too, because they are part of the reason that 360 did so well. So we're gonna rank all the Xbox 360 exclusives. It's gonna be a fun video. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here, coming at you with another video. Today we're gonna be ranking, man. Xbox has had good generations, but we can all agree it's anomalous. Everyone has to agree that the most popular generation for them was the 360. And I was wondering, what's the reason for that? What's the reason for that? So I have decided that we are going to rank all of the 360 exclusives, including timed, and we're going to really get into it. So let's pop over here first. There are a lot of games, actually, that were exclusive to the platform that I never know about until I really started doing the research to this particular video. So let's pop over here. So as you can see, I have made my rankings. I did all this myself. So congrats to myself. No one did this. I did all the legwork on this. And we're gonna jump into this, man. First one is the Ace Combat 4 games. I actually saw a few Ace Combats that was on the Xbox. I don't know which was exclusive, which was not exclusive. But the fourth one was definitely exclusive. Here's the thing. I have played this combat game, but I didn't play a lot of it, so I don't really feel justified ranking that one. So it's either going to be S, A, B, C, or not played. Now, the majority of the game here I played. So, we're not going to be using not played a whole lot, but I have played the majority of these games. Alan Wake. So I did play this game. I didn't beat it. And I know people, I feel like people are going to get really mad when I say this. Look, let's pop over here. Let's pop over here. I was not a fan of Quantum Break. I was not a fan of Control. I'm not a fan of Alan Wake. I didn't mind Control, but I feel like there's a lot better experiences out there for you today. Remedy really ain't that type of game for me. I'm going to be honest with you. So we're going to put that as a B, because even though I feel like a lot of people are going to be in that comment section demanding, Addict, why didn't you make this an A? Because it's my damn list. Okay, and if I decide that Remedy is going to be a B, I feel like Alan Wake being a B is completely and utterly reasonable to me. This game was actually a pretty fun game, but I'm going to put this as a B as well. Now, look, I know a lot of people, this game has a cult class audience, but me particularly, it was one of those, actually, I'm going to put this as a C. It was one of those fun games that you play, but I wouldn't go back and play it as of right now. BioShock. Whew. BioShock is one of cult classic immediately. This game ended up producing multiple sequels. BioShock is a very well-known IP in the gaming industry. And to be honest with you, it's kind of wild to think that this came out exclusive to the Xbox platform. Now, obviously, it did end up going over to other platforms eventually. But I think the original BioShock, I'm going to be real with you guys. I think this is our first S. Now, I know some of you might not agree. And you can put in the comment section below if you disagree with me. That's fine. I don't have to take your approach in any way, shape, or form. I don't have to trust your opinion. All I got to do is trust mine. And BioShock, I feel, it deserves that. I really do. Blue Dragon. You guys know that I'm a huge Mistwalker fan. You guys know that when it comes to Mistwalker, I'm kind of a fanboy. When it comes to Mistwalker themselves, I fanboy all the time. I'm always making lists and really speaking highly when it comes to this particular game and this studio. I feel like Miss Walker makes the Final Fantasies that I wanted Final Fantasy to go to and not what ultimately Square Enix decided to do in the end. So, but I will say in terms of Miss Walker's games, Blue Dragon's a great game, fun game, but I'm going to have to give this a B. I really enjoyed Blue Dragon, and I feel like if you argued that this was an A, I wouldn't fight you on it. I do think this is more of a B-rated game, on this actual ranking list. Now, we'll go ahead and pop up Lost Odyssey on the list a little bit because I do think let's rank them both together. Blue Dragon's an amazing game, but I do feel like it's the definition of if it's a good game, really enjoyed it, and that's it. But when it comes to Lost Odyssey, it's a different ball game. Lost Odyssey was truly amazing. I really enjoyed Lost Odyssey. I think it is the unnamed Final Fantasy, in my opinion. This could have been a Final Fantasy game. That's the quality. This is one of the few games that wasn't made by Square Enix that could compete with the old days of Final Fantasy, the 1 through 10. And that's why I'm a S rank. Look, Lost Odyssey is an amazing game, and I think a lot of people would agree. If you played Lost Odyssey and you know that feeling that I'm talking about, you can understand where I'm coming from when it comes to that. Castle Crashers. That's our first A. I loved Castle Crashers, man. I played a good amount of it. I really enjoyed this game to the fullest. I think Castle Crashers is a fun game. I think it's a unique game, and I think it definitely deserved to be in that spot. Crackdown 1. Crackdown 1, I actually feel out of all the Crackdown franchise, Crackdown 1's the best. Now, Crackdown 2 was fun in a lot of aspects, but I feel like Crackdown 1 had the most potential to where the franchise can go. And I do feel since then, the franchise's quality has not dramatically dropped, but it has dropped. I feel like Crackdown 1 was an amazing game. Great foundation. Crackdown 2 improved on some of those aspects that I would have liked to have improved on, but it didn't improve enough. So I will say Crackdown is a B-rated game. I personally feel Crackdown could have done phenomenal stuff, and it could have really helped out in terms of where you do that. You got the crime boss. I feel like there's a lot of stuff they could have did in that franchise to make it a lot better. Unfortunately, we know where it went to. It went to Crackdown 2. I got to put that as a C. Enjoyed Crackdown 2. I thought Crackdown 2 was a fun game. Really enjoyed my time with Crackdown 2. But in terms of like being an amazing game or anything like that, I got to be honest with you. Crackdown 2 was definitely underwhelming. What's this next game? Oh, I didn't play this game. I'm going to be honest with you. Not really familiar with the franchise. Maybe you guys put in the comment section below where you guys think it would belong to. Me particularly, I have no clue what that game was about. Now, this, Dead or Alive. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a fighter game. I'm not a fighter. I don't play fighting games in general. So when I saw Dead or Alive on this list, that it was an exclusive to the Xbox brand. And if I remember correctly, because I did look, Dead or Alive never went to PlayStation 3. I looked. Now, maybe I didn't find it in there. Dead or Alive, that was 3 or 4. I can't remember which one that one is. But it's kind of crazy to me that a game that big in the fighting world, because I know a lot of people that love Dead or Alive, that it's there as an exclusive. I don't play fighting games, so obviously that goes into not played. Look, if I were a betting man, I would say that's a strong C or B. And that's just my honest opinion when it comes to it, but I don't know. Dead Rising. Dead Rising showed my personal opinion, I feel like Dead Rising 1 cultivated the foundation of the Dead Rising franchise, and the other ones kind of like went with it. If I were saying, I would say that's probably a B game. I personally like Dead Rising 2 more. I would say Dead Rising 2 is an A game to me. Dead Rising 3, another game that's amazing. I would say that's a B or an A. But Dead Rising 2, I feel, is the peak of the Dead Rising franchise. I feel like Dead Rising 4 was a total letdown. I really hated that. Premonition. I'm pretty sure it's called Premonition. I did not play that. Tell me, you guys, where you guys think that would be. I myself have no clue where that game would have been. Enchanted Arms. Now this is made by From Software. Ironically, I don't know how many of you guys knew that. From Software made a turn-based game. And what's interesting about this game in terms of From Software is it's actually good. You can actually play it on the Xbox One right now. It's on the store. I think it's like $20. If you guys really enjoy turn-based games, this is a very mature turn-based game. Really recommend you go pick this up. It's on the Xbox store right now. Really fun experience. I think you guys would enjoy it. In terms of where it would be on this list, I would actually put Enchanted Arms as an A because I do feel like it is a fun game going into Eternal Sonata. I actually played this game too. Now, I don't think Eternal Sonata is an S rank. I also don't think it's an A rank. I would probably put this in the C. Now, this is a classic to me. I don't know how like the rest of like the industry took it. I don't know how the consumers took it. I don't even know what this rated on Metacritic. Maybe at the very end, I'll put every Metacritic on top of the actual case of the game. I don't know yet. We'll see. But when it comes to Eternal Sonata, I really enjoyed this game. But I do understand that I do like turn-based, and I think I'm probably scared a little bit when it comes to that. Probably same with this Enchanted Arms. I really enjoyed Enchanted Arms. I personally think it's an A-rated game, but I can understand people saying it's a B, maybe even C. Fable 2. Whoo! I don't even know if I want it. The amount of people that I'm going to upset about Fable 2. Look, you guys know that I have played my fair share of Fable games. I have streamed on the Addict Arena channel playing Fable 1, the Anniversary Edition, the Lost Chapters. I have played a significant amount of Fable. I have like almost all the gamer score. I think I actually started streaming Fable 2, but I was, playing it with some of my subscribers, and I didn't like how they had fixed angles like you're playing the old Resident Evil, so I kind of dropped that. Probably go back to it. But in terms of Fable 2, I would actually have to be honest here. Even on my Fable bias, I love Fable 2. Fable 2 is an A-rated game. I think that's fair. I feel like some people, because I know especially the people in the Fable community, they love this game. I think a lot of them would really grill me towards being an S rank. And I'm going to be honest, I don't feel that it's in the S rank lane. I just don't. That's me, my personal opinion. Now I'm going to be honest, these racers, I don't play racers. I'm not a racing person. I've never been a racing person, so we can get rid of this. It's kind of crazy how many racers is exclusive. This one right here, I can't remember what it's called. There's a bunch of these that was exclusive to the Xbox platform. Like a bunch of them. So, look, Forza Horizon Classic, I don't know where that would actually go if I did play it. I did play Forza Horizon 3, 4, and 5. I would probably, if I'm going to rate any of them, it would probably be Forza Horizon because I have played the later iterations of it, and I would say it's a B. And that's just for me playing the franchise ahead of it. I don't know where it came from. Maybe the original Forza Horizons weren't the greatest, and then they ended up building on from that foundation. I don't know. Put in the comment section below. How was Forza Horizon back in the 360 day? I'm very curious to hear you guys' opinion on that one. So, now we're to the Gears franchise. And these are legendary. People love this franchise. Love it. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing the third one. Gears 3, Gears 2, and I have no clue where the third one or the first one is. Yeah, I could have swore I put all three of them on here. It's cool. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna act like this game right here, Forza 2, is the Gears one. I don't know how that happened, but we're gonna move with it. So Gears 1, and what I'll probably do is when they're actually on the actual thing, I'll put them on there. Gears 1, I would say, is... I'm going to say all the Gears are that. I'm going to say they all. Gears franchise in general. I didn't put Judgment in here either. I have been told, because I never played Judgment. I played, these two. And I was told Judgment was amazing. So, I was always more of a Halo head. I did play these games. Played more multiplayer on Gears 3. But what I played of it, especially, the campaign, and I feel the whole franchise, the whole original franchise, in my opinion, it deserves that spotlight, man. It put the 360 on its back, a lot of it. Now, obviously, we're about to get to these Halos, and these Halos put in some work. ODSD. ODSD's an A. I really enjoyed ODSD. I'm going to be honest with you. ODSD was amazing. I'm not going to say it was like groundbreaking or anything like that, but I really enjoyed they gave you a different perspective on just being in the universe without being a Spartan, and I think ODSD deserves a sequel because I know a lot of people want it to have a sequel. Halo 3 S. Halo 3 was, in my opinion, the Halo that really put this game on the map. A lot of people loved Halo 3. Halo 3 shut so many people up. It's in my argument, one of the best games that came out in the 360 era. When it comes to the Gears franchise, I played a lot of them, but I didn't play it, because of the multiplayer. I played a lot of, the third one. I was really a big fan of the third one in terms of multiplayer. And I think they let you do split screen on the same team. So it was easy for me to play it on multiplayer. So I played a lot of that. I played a lot of the single player, but I'm going to be honest with you, man. Maybe you guys put in the comment section below. But when it comes to straight up heat between Gears and Halo, I got to go with Halo. I got to go with Halo. Halo is the beacon, man. Is the beacon. The Combat Evolve anniversary, automatically go to an A. I feel like we all can say that pretty easily. Combat Evolve is a very good franchise that started the franchise. And I think, the remaster, I remember I was at my friend Paul's house when this game came out. And if I remember correctly, I think it had Reach's multiplayer. I can't remember exactly. Maybe you guys could put in the comment section below. And I remember just enjoying this game when it came out. We played through the single player. Like, Halo's Halo, man. Halo's Halo. That's why even though, I played a significant amount of all the Gears, I know the importance and I know the weight of those games. That's why I couldn't, put them in like an A or a B because of the lack of playing one of them more than the others. In my personal opinion, that game is definitely deserving of an S. And maybe you guys put in the comment section below if you disagree with me. Halo Reach. I want to give it an S. But I do feel like Halo Reach is an A or a B. Maybe an A. And look, hear me out. The reason I feel like it's an A is because in my personal opinion, a lot of the issues that people have with 343 or Halo Studios now, a lot of that originated from Halo Reach. Bungie did it. Sprinting, armor lock. A lot of aspects that people hate Halo now, 343 got the shitty end of the stick when Bungie really started all that waves. Now, I'm not saying that Bungie would have did it in the main Halo franchise, but just the story alone from Halo Reach is worth that spot at A. Just the story alone. Now we got Halo Wars. As much as I'm a Halo head, and I enjoy me some Halo, I got to go with an A. Look, I really enjoyed Halo Wars. I thought it was a phenomenal game. But I will say that it did have a lot of bad aspects to certain things that went on. And my personal opinion, it's a great game. Spawned a great franchise. I really hope that, we get a Halo Wars 3 eventually. I don't know if we ever will. But I will be very honest with that particular one that it does deserve that spot. I never played this game. Now let me read it. Oh, it's at Infinity. I actually never played this game, and I've been told by countless people I need to play this game. So I do think I'm going to go back and play this game because it is one of the aspects that I really enjoyed. Oh, that's where the Gears, because Alan Wake's on here again. That's what happened to Gears. For some reason, they put that in twice. I don't know why. Can I look? I know a lot of people. This game has like a huge cult following, but I never felt it, man. I played it for like a couple hours and dropped that thing. Now, maybe it's just me. I know it's got a cult following, and a lot of people are probably going to be upset over that one. But in my opinion, it was a fun game, but it wasn't everything everyone cracked it up to be. Limbo is a good game. I think Limbo is a strong B. Limbo kind of, really captivated that studio. They're still making games to this day. Limbo was a fantastic entry into that. I think people, if you said that was an A, I probably wouldn't argue with you. Now, if you said that was an S, I probably would have an issue with that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I feel like I would have an issue with that. I'm going to be honest. The Lost Planet. I forgot that The Lost Planet was an exclusive. And I do think this is a B-rated game. I do think that The Lost Planet had a lot of potential. They did go and make sequels. So it had clearly, an audience. It did have an audience that people really enjoyed. I enjoyed playing it. If I remember correctly, either one of them or all of them was co-op. So that's probably one of the main reasons I jumped into that was because of the co-op aspect. I don't know. Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect. And for some reason, Mass Effect 3 is not on here. I don't know why those pictures messed up. I don't know. I'm not going back and fixing it. This Alan Wake is the third Mass Effect. I'm going to be honest with you. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset with this. They all is S. Mass Effect is the best trilogy to ever be released. And that's just point blank. I'm very disappointed that the picture's messed up. Because I wanted that Mass Effect 3 to be up there. Because I know a lot of you want to argue about what's a better game between Mass Effect 1 and 2. But that third one, man. Chef's kiss. I really enjoyed it. Now, obviously, there's an argument to be made. The reason that I enjoy the Mass Effect 3 franchise so much is because I'm biased as hell towards it. And I think that's completely, valid. When I did play the Mass Effect trilogy, it was after they did all the patches and, because they patched it multiple times after the feedback. So that's probably the reason I feel so highly about Mass Effect 3. But to be fair, the reason I love Mass Effect 3, and I played them back to back when the Legendary Collection came out, the reason I enjoyed Mass Effect 3 is because I feel like what I liked wouldn't have been possible without people that like the first one more or people that like the second one more. Because those stories that I built up between Mass Effect 1 and 2, and I got to experience the conclusions of the majority of those storylines in Mass Effect 3, was devastating to me. And I think that's the reason that I personally like Mass Effect 3 more. And I am willing to admit that when it comes to that, the reason that I'm like that is because I didn't have to deal with the wait between the games. And I didn't have to deal with the original state of Mass Effect 3. Oblivion, that's S rank. Oblivion is a great game. Elder Scrolls and Bethesda, they were hitting from every corner back in the day, man. Elder Scrolls, I remember playing Oblivion. Morrowind was an Xbox original exclusive. Oblivion was the 360. These games did eventually come over, but they were exclusive for a while. And I think that Oblivion is one of the key factors in that RPG community. And if you have disagreements on that, I perfectly understand. I think you're wrong, but I understand. Perfect Dark, I was interested in seeing what they did with the Perfect Dark franchise going forward. But I will say in terms of what we ended up getting back then, it was good, but I don't think it would stand up today's standards. That's why I was really happy that they were trying something new with Perfect Dark. Unfortunately, that game got canceled. So we're going to have to just live on with the 360 iterations and, the N64, Rare, back when Rare did Rare stuff. It is what it is. Saint Row, a lot of people like Saint Row. Once again, I think it's a B game. This is before they started going to like more of the silly route with Saints Row 3 and 4. I enjoyed 3 and 4 too. I know a lot of people would have preferred them to stick with like the gangster stuff and the gangs. I personally enjoyed what I played of 3 and 4. Now I played a little bit of 2, but I did play a lot of the first one, and I really enjoyed the first one, and I enjoyed what I played of the second one. But 3 and 4, in my opinion, is when I really started enjoying the Saints Rows because they were doing something different. This Tell's game was good. I can't really. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. I have played and gotten very far in this game. I've never beat it, but I really enjoyed what I played of it. So I think I would actually give that a B too. The Last Remnant. I have never played this, but been told by countless people I need to play this game. There is some gems that's on the 360 that I really need to play, because I feel like these last two, because really the only thing on this list is just racing games and like some fighting games and stuff I've never played. But I really think these two here would be higher up on this list if I played them, because at the time I was jumping back between platforms. I was playing a lot of Halo. I was playing Lost Odyssey. I was playing a lot of these games, and somehow these two completely voided me. I don't know how that happened. I did not play 2 Human. Once again, it's got a cult classic. I don't think it's as big as people claim. I've never heard of anyone say we need another 2 Human, or we need 2 Human to be remastered. I think it's a good franchise. That what we got. I don't even know if there was a second one. And maybe they did give it a second one. I don't know. Put in the comment section below if they gave it a second one. Vita Piata. I actually enjoyed it. I've never been like the biggest person when it comes to it, like a lot of other people. A lot of people love that franchise. But me in particular, I'm not been the biggest Vita Piata person. I think it's a fun thing that I do think Microsoft needs to bring back. Make it into like some other aspect. Maybe bring it back bar for bar what it was. But I actually feel very strong about this ranking. BioShock, Lost Odyssey, and this first one was, if I remember correctly, Gears of War 1. Definitely deserved that. Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3. And like one thing I want to be very clear, I played a bunch of the Gears franchise, but one game I would play more multiplayer than the other one, and one I'd play a lot more of the story. I did beat Gears 1, and I did beat Gears 2, and I got dramatically far in Gears 3. But I think my 360 broke at the time, but I really enjoyed those games. I really enjoyed Halo 3. You want to get technical? Let's rank these, and maybe you guys can argue with this ranking. What is the best game in this first line? I'm going to be honest with you. It's that Halo 3. Even though I love Lost Odyssey, I do think BioShock's a bigger thing than that. I'm willing to say Gears 1, then Mass Effect, then Oblivion, then BioShock. Actually, BioShock before. BioShock. Actually, I'm going to say Oblivion is 2. And these could just change depending on what it is. I think the rest are pretty fair. Like, this is my ranking. I'm going to be honest with you. The 360 was it, guys. I think we can all admit that. The 360 was a phenomenal system to play games on. And I enjoyed playing games on that system. There's nothing quite like playing Gears and like really jumping your teeth into that. Playing Halo. And then keep in mind, during this time, this is when Halo, and you can make an argument, Gears and Halo both were at their peak during the 360. It's good, man. It's good. I think you guys should go try these games. A lot of them are on the 360 backwards compatibility list. We just got a remake of Dead Rising, so you can go try that out. Most of these games you can play. Like, you can play right now. But that's my ranking on on the every 360 game exclusive, including timed and full-blown exclusive. That was my rankings. Put in the comment section below what you guys disagree. Look, at the end of the day, the only thing I might like change around a little bit is the Gears franchise, because I do feel like out of all those on the S, those are the games I played the least, because I played a ridiculous amount of every one of those games have a crazy amount of time for me. But those 3 games probably have the least, because I do feel that in terms of Gears, I can definitely jump back in there and play those again. But I just didn't feel right putting them anything below an S, just because of the impact alone. And I know you could probably say the same thing about some of the other games, but it's my ranking, guys. But anyway, put in the comments below what you guys feel about that. I'm very curious to hear you guys' opinion. If you guys want to see more rankings, man, hit that like button. As always, appreciate it. You could always sub to the channel. We make weekly content on here. Here the past couple, month and a half, we make 2 videos a week. I'm going to jump that back up. We do reviews now. We do a lot of news opinions. We do a lot of stuff. Rankings. I'm going to do some top 10s. We're going to get into it. Follow me on Twitter at LordAddictILP. And you can also follow me on YouTube at Addict Arena in the comments section below. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.